Greetings from Australia and welcome back to our channel. My name is Ruth and I am an Australian legal practitioner here based in Australia. My passion is to help my clients gain permanent residency and Australian citizenship here in Australia. Well, in today's video, I would like to share with you 11 things that you must look out for when applying for a global talent visa or distinguished talent visa, which is also one of the fastest way to migrate to Australia permanently. Now, please do not treat the contents of this video as legal advice because we do assess each case on a case-by-case basis. However, I trust that the contents of this video will assist you if you are to pursue the GTI visa stream under the Distinguished Talent Visa pathway. So let's get started. What are the 11 things you must look out for when applying for a global talent visa or a distinguished talent visa? Number 1, you must be able to show that you will benefit Australia. What does that mean? Well, the Australian immigration will expect that you can contribute in, for example, economic, social, cultural, or to raise Australia's academic, artistic, or sports standing internationally. So you must contribute to the nation as a whole. So it's really important that you're able to convince immigration that you can contribute in either of these ways. Number 2, you must have the ability to establish yourself in Australia. For example, you must be able to find work or show that you are able to easily find work here in Australia or become independently established in your field, such as starting a business in Australia. You cannot include your income from work outside your field. So it has to be the field, the target sector that you were looking at. Now, I actually made a couple of other videos about the target sector and what talent means, etc. So you can check the other videos out in regard to global talent stream. But yes, number 2 is you must show that you can establish yourself in Australia. Number 3, you must be internationally recognized with a record of achievement in either a profession, a sport, in the arts, or academia and research. And your achievements must be exceptional and outstanding. So you got to be the brightest of the brightest. So this means that you're currently prominent in your field, you have superior abilities to others in your field, you're acclaimed as exceptional in any country where your field is practiced, you have a record of sustained achievement that is unlikely to diminish in the future, and you must also participate in a field that is recognized and accepted in Australia, has international standing, and you must have been prominent in this field for at least in the last 2 years. So it has to be current. Okay, so it's really, really important that you're able to distinguish yourself. As the name suggests, it's a distinguished talent visa, which means you must be able to distinguish yourself from others and prove why you are better and how you can contribute in this country. Number 4, you must be nominated for the visa. This is really, really important. Without the nomination, the visa will fail. So your nominator must also meet the immigration's criteria. So at this stage, your nominator must be an Australian citizen, permanent resident, or an eligible New Zealand citizen. So this is really important. So not all New Zealand citizens in Australia can nominate. They have to be eligible New Zealand citizen, or they could also be an Australian organization in the same national reputation and in the same field as you. Where appropriate, the nomination should also come from the peak Australian body. Okay, so having that right nomination, ensure that they fill out the right form, ensure that this person is trustworthy or the organization is trustworthy. This is really, really important because without your nomination, you cannot be granted the visa. Number 5, generally immigration expects you to be anywhere between 18 to 55 years old. But if you're under 18 or if you're over 55, that's okay. You just have to show that you're of exceptional benefit to the Australian community. Number 6, you must show that you meet the English requirement And generally, the expectation is that you must meet the functional English requirement, or you will need to pay an extra charge, which is what we call the second VAC, which is a lot of money. So if you can show that you have functional English, if you can't, then I would say consider sitting for an English test. Otherwise, if you want to claim an exemption, you can also consider paying the second installment to be granted the visa. Number 7, you must meet the health requirement. So this is also considered as one of the public interest criteria because we want to make sure that applicants who are coming to Australia are of reasonably good health. It doesn't mean that you have to have perfect health, but you do have to ensure that you meet the health requirement. Number 8, you must meet the character requirement. Now, this is so important. So you will be expected to produce police checks, and immigration has got certain standards. So again, it doesn't mean that if you did something really silly when you were 16 years old, that you cannot be granted the visa, but because it all depends on the spectrum in which you fall under. But if you have concerns in regard to character requirement, if let's say when you were in your younger days you did something silly, then contact us and we can assist you to see if you will meet the character requirement. Number 9, if you owe the Australian government any debt, you must show that you've paid the Australian government back. Number 10, you must sign the Australian value statement. So basically everyone in your application, whether it's your spouse, your partner, or a child over 18, they must commit to Australia, and they must have read or understood the Life in Australia booklet to show that you actually commit to Australia, and that you will confirm that you will respect the Australian way of life and obey Australian laws. And finally, number 11, you must show that you have not had a visa cancelled or a previous application refused, because you may actually not be eligible for the visa if you have had a visa cancelled or refused. But it really depends, because sometimes if you have had a visa refused, you can actually still go ahead and apply. It depends on the reason of refusal. It depends on which visa was refused. It depends on where you apply for this distinguished talent visa. So if your case is a little bit complicated, just drop us an email on the email address below, and we would be happy to assist. So I hope that the video today was helpful. So those were the 11 things you need to look out for if you were to apply for a distinguished talent visa or GTI stream visa. And if you need help, just reach out, and it would be our pleasure to assist you. But otherwise, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and we wish you the very best in your future endeavors for Australian migration.